Okay. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Due to some technical issue, okay, it was taking some time. So not to worry. Please join as soon as possible, everyone. Due to some technical issue, there was a delay of 20 minutes. Okay. Otherwise, these things basically does not happen. Okay, usually. So as I told you, like the internet issue that was earlier has been resolved. So there was some another issues. So those who have joined the session, write something in chat box so that we can make the session interactive. Because from now to onwards, the topic that I am going to cover, okay, keeps more importance according to the gate point of view. Till now we have only done with the introductory part, okay, and from today I am starting the second chapter, that is called the data link layer, and the first topic, framing and bit stuffing. So join as soon as possible, everyone. Join as soon as possible. Those who have joined, write something in chat box so that we can make an interactive session. Yaar, just write something. Hi sir, hello sir, anything you want. Don't behave like a mute. Okay, say something, try to say something. Okay, so this is the first topic of the data link layer. Okay, the topic name is framing and bit stuffing. Framing and bit stuffing. Bit stuffing. So, framing. What is the meaning of framing? Creation of frame. Okay. So, as we know, means in individual layers, we basically assign the different name of packet. Yes or no? Like in application layer, we assign the packet name as a message, or sometimes we say the data. In transport layer, we assign the packet name as a segment. In network layer, datagram. In data link layer, frame. Okay. So the packet name frame actually given in a data link layer, and we are dealing with the data link layer. Okay. So in data link layer, basically we need to cover 4 different topics that I have already discussed in a last session. Okay. So those part I have already discussed in a last session. So framing basically means creation of frame. Creation of frames, which is nothing but a packet. Which is nothing but a packet. So creation of frame at where? At data link layer. So while creating a frame at the data link layer at the receiving end, we will find some difficulties, and that's why we will implement, in that situation we will implement the concept of bit stuffing. So bit stuffing is nothing but a simple logic, or you can say the concept which we are going to use while creation of frames, because whenever you will try to create a frame at the receiving end, okay, so you can say like creation of frame, or you can say the recreation of frame, anything you can say. Okay, so whenever you will try to collect the frame at the receiving end, we will find some difficulties, and to remove those difficulties we will simply use the concept of bit stuffing. So we will see each and everything step by step, don't worry. Okay, so see what actually happened. We are only considering 2 different layers. Okay, so suppose there is a sender. Suppose this is the sender and this one is the receiver. Okay, and they are connected through a single link. Okay, so this is, we are assuming this is the sender and this one is the receiver. Okay, S basically indicates sender and the R basically represent receiver. Okay, so we are considering only 2 different layers. Suppose there is a data link layer, and after that there will be a physical layer. Similarly, at the receiving end there will be a data link layer and there will be a physical layer. Okay, so whenever the sender wish to send a data, whenever the sender wish to send any data, it will create a frame in data link layer? Yes or no? It will create a frame at the data link layer. So let's try to create the frame. So at the data link layer, what will happen? The frames will be created. So my dear friends, whenever we are creating a frame, it will require some logic. Why? Can anyone answer this question? If at the data link layer we are creating a frame is nothing but a packet, like a box. Okay, suppose in a single box you are inserting like a 70 or 100 biscuit. In a single box, what you have done? You have packed 100 biscuit. Okay, so ultimately what you have created a packet, and that particular packet contain 100 number of biscuit. So you have like 1,000 or 1 lakh of biscuits, but you cannot directly send the biscuits as it is. You need to create a packet before sending the biscuit to the customer. Are you getting my point or not? So in that situation, what we are doing, we are creating a packet of 100 number of biscuits. So same thing is happening over here. So whenever sender wish to send any data, the data will not be transmitted as it is. So definitely it will try to create a packet, means it will create a packet, and that packet will contain like a limited set of data, you can say. Okay, because suppose if you have a file of like 100 MB and one packet have a size 1 MB, then how many packets you need to create? You need to create 100 number of packets. Are you getting my point or not? Because if the packet size is limited, if the number of biscuit that can be inserted inside the packet is limited, then how many packets we can create? So the packet will be created always depending upon the one box size, or you can say the packet size. So number of packets basically depends upon the limitations of packet size. Is that clear, everyone? My dear friends, I want the response from your side. If you are watching right now, try to respond something so that we can make the session interactive. Don't make it one-way communication. Okay. I hope all of you have read the starting 2 chapter of the computer network that I have told you. Okay. And in that chapter already you have learned or you have studied mode of communication. There are 3 modes. We want full duplex mode of communication between me and you. Okay. So just tell me. Okay, fine. See. So at the data link layer, what will happen? The frames will be created, and once these frames, and whenever you are creating a frame, it will be created with some logic. So I am writing it in a very short form. Okay, frames are created with some logic. Why I am saying this, I will tell you. And framing is nothing but a protocol. See, whenever I am writing framing, after that you can write framing protocol. So whenever we are saying protocol, so this is nothing but a what? This is the logic. Are you getting my point or not? So framing protocol means creation of frame requires some logic. Whenever we are creating a frame at the sender side, it requires some logic. Why we are requiring the logic, you will understand these things at the receiving end. Please try to understand. Okay. So see, at the data link layer, what will happen? The frames will be created, and whenever you are creating a frame, you will apply some logic. Okay. And that logic we have to learn inside the framing protocol. Okay. So once this frame will be created and will be transmitted to the physical layer, what will happen? The physical layer only understand the stream of bits coming from the upper layer. The physical layer is not able to watch the box. It will only watch the biscuit inside the box. Are you getting my point or not? So whenever the stream of bits will come from the upper layer, suppose I am at the physical layer and above me there is a data link layer. So whenever the data link layer will send the packet to me, I'm not able to watch which one is the packet, because the packet is created at the data link layer and I'm not aware of this. So what I will understand? I will only understand the stream of bits coming from the upper layer, and my responsibility is to convert these stream of bits into a signal, because after the physical layer there is a link between sender and receiver. There is no any other layers. So after the physical layer there is a link between sender and receiver. So once this stream of bits will come to the physical layer like this, 1011 00010 and so on. So what the physical layer will do? It will simply transmit this stream of bits into the medium. So the basic responsibility of the physical layer to convert the stream of bits into the signal. At the sender side we are talking about. So the signal could be of any form. It can be a bipolar signal, Manchester, differential Manchester, or unipolar, whatever you can say. Okay, in digital signal there are various kind of signal. So suppose these are converted into a signal like this. Okay, 1 0 and again 1 1, then 0 0, like this. So this is basically representing 1 0 1 1, again 0 0 and so on. So these stream of bits, the basic responsibility of the physical layer to convert these stream of bits into a signal. So simply it will be converted into a signal and it will start transmitting over the medium. So after some time this signal will be received by the receiver, means will be received by the another node which is connected directly with this node. Yes or no? So at this point, at the receiving point, there must be a device. There must be a device. We are thinking about this is the device. This is the device implemented at physical layer. Okay. So at the receiving end, there should be a device which can fetch the signal and can convert it into the stream of bits. Yes or no? So at the receiving end, these signals will be fetched. Fetched means read. These are the English term. Whenever I am writing fetch, so you can write fetch or you can just say read. Okay. So at the receiving end, these signals will be fetched and will be converted into the stream of bits. So once it will be converted into a stream of bits like this, 10 11 00 and so on. So what this physical layer will do? Now the responsibility of the physical layer is over. The physical layer has extracted the data from the signal. The physical layer of the receiving end has extracted data from the signal. So once the data has been extracted, what it will do? It will simply transmit this data to the upper layer, that is the data link layer. Now my dear friends, suppose you are seated at the data link layer, then what you will try to do? Just assume yourself at the data link layer. Just assume yourself at the data link layer. Suppose you are sitting at the data link layer. So what you will try to do? Out of stream of bits coming from the physical layer, just try to understand. The physical layer only transferring the stream of bits to the upper layer. So out of the stream of bits coming from the physical layer, you will try to recreate the frame. Yes or no? Out of many biscuits coming from the lower layer, what you will try to do? You will try to keep the biscuit inside the box and you will just convert it into the different box. The same thing is happening over here. So once these stream of bits will send to the upper layer, that is the data link layer, what you will try to do? You will try to recreate the frame. So here recreation of frame will be done. But my dear friends, can you recreate the frame until and unless you have some idea? Yes or no? We cannot recreate the frame until and unless we have some logic, like what is the size of the frame, or up to which number of bits is representing a first packet or first frame. Until and unless we have an idea about this, we cannot recreate the frame. It requires some logic. Means what I am trying to say, please try to understand. Suppose these are the sequence of bits 0 0 0 1 1 0 and so on. Again 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 0 and so on. So up to which number of bits? Up to which number of bits is representing first frame? First frame. How you can identify? Means here the question is arising how receiver will identify up to how much bits coming from, where is it coming? Coming from physical layer is representing first frame, okay, representing first frame. And after that how many bits are representing the second frame, and then how many bits are representing the third frame? Okay, after that how much representing second frame, representing second frame, okay, second frame, and so on. Are you getting my point or not? What I am trying to say, everyone? Are you getting my point or not? So how much sequence of bits? How much sequence of bits is representing a first frame? How much sequence of bits is representing the second frame? Okay, that is the frame number 2. And how much sequence of bits are representing the third frame? That is the frame number 3. How the receiver would be able to identify this? Are you getting my point or not, everyone? So my dear friends, until and unless the sender will put some logic inside the frame, the receiver is not able to identify, and that logic should be known by sender as well as receiver. Are you getting my point or not? And that is nothing but a protocol. How can you define a protocol? Already we have seen in details the basic definition of protocol. Protocol means a set of rule, or you can say logic, known by each and every node which are trying to communicate with each other. Yes or no? So whatever the logic the sender is applying while creation of frame, the same logic should be known by the receiver. Yes or no? With whatever the logic the sender is creating a frame, it should be known by the receiver. Only in that situation the receiver will be able to identify individual frames. And that particular logic is nothing but called a framing protocol. Framing protocol. Is that clear, everyone? I want the response from your side. Are you getting my point or not? And that actually we have to learn over here. See, until and unless I will get the response from your side, it is quite difficult to interact and learn the subject. I am telling you, my dear friends. Until and unless you will respond and the session will become the interactive, it is quite difficult for you also to learn the subject. So please try to respond. Whenever I am asking something, please try to respond. Okay, not a problem at all. So see, we also understand since first time we have launched our courses in English, and that is the reason very few students know about this. So what I want from your side, tomorrow tomorrow we are launching the GATE CSIT course in English, and the Pankaj sir is going to announce it at 9 p.m. So get ready. The date is 5th May at the rate 9 p.m. So it hardly matter it hardly matter whether you are comfortable in Hindi or English. Okay, what you have to do, share the link as much as possible, and like tell all of your friends who are like not comfortable, not very much comfortable in Hindi, and they wish to purchase the courses in English. So just tell all of them that join this particular session, okay, at tomorrow at 9 p.m. so that you can have all the informations what we are like going to launch in a PD course, in a GD course, okay, which subjects you are going to have right now. Because once you will order from like day after tomorrow we are launching our courses, all the courses like pen drive, G drive, Google tablets, and there is another course VOD. We are launching all the course in English, and the Pankaj sir is going to announce this at the 9 p.m. So must try to attend, and those means you can share this information to your friends also, and try to make a mahal over there, okay. Because once the crowd will be there, and because most of the people right now don't know whether the GATE Academy is providing the GATE CSIT courses in English or not. Because just think about the student who are from South or West Bengal, they are not much comfortable in Hindi. They want the courses in English. So it will be helpful for those kind of students. Okay. And again, I will tell you, we are not here to market our like things. Okay. So if you are not able to pay, you can join us at the global, at this channel, because the GATE Academy global channel has especially designed to provide the education for the GATE preparation in English. So if you want, you can connect with us through the YouTube channel, or if you think that you require some more assistance in GATE preparation, then you can go for the courses, either like full courses or in a subject wise courses, but at least you have to start. You have to make a mental setup and you have to start, and you can inform these things to your like friends, juniors, anyone. Okay, so let's come to the part. Okay, so here finally the question is arising, how the receiver will identify how many bits, how many sequence of bits are representing the first frame, how many sequence of bits representing the second frame and third frame, and so on. So definitely, until and unless, please try to understand, until and unless the sender will put some logic inside the frame, while creation the receiver can never distinguish the frame. Distinguish means can never like separate the frames. Are you getting my point or not? So see, I'm writing it in a points. Okay, I'm writing it in a points. So see, just note it down. See, until and unless sender will put the logic in frame while creation the receiver can never distinguish, or you can say separate individual frames. And the receiver would be able to distinguish the frame if and only if this logic is also known by the receiver. So my dear friends, with whatever the logic the sender is creating all these frames, same logic should be known by the receiver. This should be also known by receiver. Are you getting my point or not? Only in that situation the receiver would be able to separate the frame. Now that is nothing but a framing protocol. That logic is nothing but a framing protocol, because here we are implementing a logic for creation of frame and distinguishing the frame or separating the frames at the receiving end. So ultimately you can say this is nothing but a framing protocol. Okay, so now let's try to understand that particular logic, and then we will try to find out what are the difficulties we are identifying while creation of frames or while separating the frames, and how we can remove those difficulties by implementing the concept that is called the bit stuffing. Okay, so let's see over here. So see, this is the simple logic of creation of frame. Okay, the simple logic was given. See, in computer network, whatever the logic you are going to implement, please try to understand. In a computer network, whatever the logic you wish to implement, you have only 2 bit to implement this, 0 or 1. So whatever the logic you are going to implement in a computer network, you can use 2 things, 0 or 1. Yes or no? Any times, any number of times, not a problem at all. You can repeat 0 any times, you can repeat 1 any times, but whatever the logic you wish to implement, you can only these 2 parameters. Okay, so let's try to think. We are creating a frame. Suppose this is the frame, this is the frame. So at the beginning and ending, at the beginning this is the frame, this is the frame. Okay, so if we will insert a special bit pattern, if we will insert a special bit pattern at the beginning and the ending of the frame, then there is a possibility that the receiver would be able to distinguish the frame. Just try to imagine a real situation. Okay, real situation. Suppose you are sending a long stick. Okay, stick, lakdi, jisko lakdi bolte hain. Okay, suppose you are sending a long stick. Okay, now you have implemented a logic to this stick, that the stick you are sending means this, in how many parts this particular stick should be cut by the receiver. For this you are just giving a logic, means you have sent, suppose you have sent 100-meter size of a stick, and you wish the receiver will cut the stick and will return you like a fragmented stick. Just try to imagine a situation, but in which way the receiver has to cut the stick, you have to put some logic. So what you will do, you will mark in between the logic, like in between the stick, in this way. So what the sender is doing, sender is marking in between the stick, so that the receiver would be able to identify, that from here it has to cut the stick, also from here it has to cut the stick, and also here it has to cut the stick, and so on. So a long stick will be cut into the 5 parts, So where the cut will apply inside the stick, the receiver wouldn't be able to identify until and unless the sender will mark into the stick. Are you getting my point or not, everyone? And the same thing is happening over here. So until and unless the sender will put some like a logic inside the frame, the receiver would not be able to distinguish or separate the frame. So what logic it is applying, the sender is applying. See, this particular logic is getting applied at the sender side, So what the sender is doing, sender is basically implementing a special bit pattern. Okay, insert special, okay, insert special bit pattern, bits pattern at beginning and ending of frame, means this is nothing but a data. Whenever we are saying data, means this is the communicating data, through which you wish to communicate. Okay, now we are implementing a special bit pattern at the beginning and ending of the frame. Of course, This is the unwanted bit we are introducing. Means these bits are not a part of communicating bit. These bits are not a part of communicating bit. This has come due to this logic. This has come due to this logic. Are you getting my point or not? So suppose we have introduced the special bit pattern like this: 0 followed by 4 ones and 0 followed by 4 ones. As I told you, whatever the logic you wish to implement inside the frame, you have only two parameters, 0 or 1. You can repeat 0 any times, you can repeat 1 any times, not a problem at all. But whatever the additional bits you are introducing inside the packet, okay, you have only two parameters, 0 and 1. Okay, you have only two parameter, 0 and 1. So with the help of 0 and 1, we have just created a special bit pattern and we have inserted at the beginning and ending of frame. Now whenever this frame will goes to the receiving end, so the person sitting over here, what he will try to think, the person sitting at the receiving end, what he will try to think, it will always expect 0 followed by 4 number of ones, and whatever the bits coming in between it will consider as a data. It will consider as a data. So once the same bit pattern will hit, that person will be able to understand, yes, this is the first frame. Means what actually this person is identifying? It is identifying the special bit pattern at the beginning, means it is expecting a special bit pattern at the beginning, and whenever the same bit pattern will hit again. So between these, it is representing first frame. Are you getting my point or not? Between these, it is representing the first frame. So again, for the next frame, it will expect what? Same bit pattern. Are you getting my point or not? So all the time the same situation will happen. Means more or less you are able to understand that receiver has also a information about this special bit pattern. Yes or no? The receiver has also have a information about this special bit pattern, because only in that situation the receiver is watching the special bit pattern at the beginning of sequence of bits, and once the same bit pattern will hit, it will understand this is the first frame. This sequence of bits is basically representing the first frame. Again, it will look for the special bit pattern, and whenever the same bit pattern will hit, it will understand this is the second frame. In this way, the basically receiver is able to distinguish the individual frame out of the sequence of bits coming from the physical layer. Out of the sequence of bits coming from the physical layer. Are you getting my point or not? Everyone, just say yes or no. Got it? Got it. So this special bit pattern is basically called flag. In computer network term, we give a name as a flag. So this special bit pattern is called a flag. Is that clear? Is that clear? So this is the additional bits, and about this flag information is known by sender as well as receiver. Then only they can communicate with each other. Means whatever the logic, this is the logic we have implemented, and this logic should be known by the receiver. Then we say this is the protocol. Protocol is nothing but a logic known by sender as well as receiver. Means both the communicating party. So the logic we are implementing should be known by both the communicating party. Are you getting my point or not? So between sender and receiver, this flag pattern is already known. This flag pattern is already known. But the problem with this concept is, what is the drawback of this concept? Can you tell me? Anyone? Can you tell me? Anyone? What is the problem with this particular concept? My dear friends, data is also nothing but a what? This is a sequence of bits. So whenever I am writing a data is nothing but also a sequence of bits. So my dear friends, what will happen if the same flag pattern will appear inside the data. Same flag pattern will appear inside the data. What I am trying to say, see here the question arising what will happen if same flag pattern appears inside where? Inside data field. Just take an example. Because with the help of example you will have more clarity. Okay, here this is also 0 1 1 1. So here in this situation we have considered flag pattern as what? Flag pattern we have considered 0 followed by 4 number of ones. So between these two flags, inside this there will be a data. So suppose I have considered the data like this. Like this, okay. So just look upon this particular data, means bits from here to here basically representing data. Bits from here to here basically representing the data. Now look upon this data. So in the data part the flag is appearing, yes or no? In the data part we are fetching the flag pattern, yes or no? So what will happen if this flag pattern will appear inside the data? So by mistake what the receiver will do? The receiver will understand this is nothing but a first frame. Are you getting my point or not? So this is nothing but a first frame, because how they are distinguishing the frame, how they are separating the frame. Flag intermediate bits will be considered as data, and once the same flag pattern will hit, it will capture the frame. Means receiver will capture the frame. Means read the flag, intermediate sequence of bits will represent the data, and whenever the flag pattern will hit, capture the first frame. So just see over here, flag, and there is also flag, means this will be captured as a frame. That is the frame number 1. Is it correct? So in this situation what is happening? Receiver will capture wrong frame. Are you getting my point or not? So if the flag pattern will appear inside the data field, definitely the receiver is going to capture the wrong frame, incorrect frame. Are you getting my point or not? So definitely we don't want this also. We don't want that this kind of situation will arise in a communicating system, yes or no? So of course we need to identify some logic so that these things can be removed. So to resolve such issue, the concept of bit stuffing is used. Okay, so if you want to resolve this kind of issue, basically you have to use the concept of bit stuffing. So my dear friends, what exactly the bit stuffing is indicating? See, stuff. What is the meaning of stuff? You have already eaten stuffed paratha in dhaba. So whenever we are saying stuff, means you can stuff the aloo, potato inside the paratha, or you can stuff the gobi inside the paratha, or paneer inside the paratha. Means whenever we are using a term stuff, means we are inserting something. Whether it is a potato, gobi, or it can be a bits. Are you getting my point or not? So stuff is nothing but, the simple meaning of stuff is insert. What we have to insert over here? Bit, because the name is given as bit stuffing. So please try to relate the name with the concept. So whenever we are using a term bit stuffing, means we are inserting additional bits. So what is the reason of bit stuffing? See, why we are implementing this concept? Because the flag pattern appears inside the data. So ultimately, what should be our ultimate target? Our ultimate target is to avoid the flag pattern from the data part. And if you want to avoid the flag pattern from the data part, definitely you have to insert the bit. Additional bits you have to insert inside the data. So basically we implement the concept of bit stuffing to avoid the flag pattern from the data part. How can we do this? We will just learn after this. Okay, so just don't worry. So basically bit stuffing, or you can say bits stuffing, you can just note it down. Okay, bit stuffing concept is used to avoid flag pattern from data field, because our ultimate target is to remove the flag pattern from the data field. So if we are able to remove the flag pattern from the data field, then the receiver will always receive the correct frame. Because in that situation only the flag pattern will appear at the beginning and ending, not in between the data. So if in between the data the flag pattern is not appearing, then the receiver will always receive the correct frame. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear? So let's see how to implement the concept of bit stuffing. So just give the heading bits stuffing. So just see over here. Suppose we are implementing the flag pattern 0 followed by 4 number of ones. Okay, and data that the sender wish to send is 1 0 1 2 3 4, this. Okay, suppose this is the flag pattern sender and receiver both are using, and sender wish to send this particular as a data, then we need to identify find transmitted data. Okay, means this is, whenever we are saying the term data, so this is nothing but the actual data, but this actual data will never be transmitted through the packet or through the frame. Why? Because inside this data the flag pattern is appearing. Because whenever you will try to create a frame with the help of this flag and data, what will happen? Just see over here. This is the flag, again this is the flag. 0 followed by 1 2 3 4, again 1 0 1 2 3 4 and 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so whenever you will try to create a frame, this is the frame created. With the help of this flag and this data. So whenever you will try to create a frame with the help of this flag and data, what will happen? So here inside the data part the flag is appearing. So at the receiving end the wrong, or you can say incorrect frame will be accepted. Are you getting my point or not? So at the receiving end the receiver is going to receive the incorrect frame. So ultimately we wish to avoid the flag pattern from the data part. So what we have to do? How we can avoid the flag pattern? Definitely we need to insert additional bits, and how we will insert this, and that's why I have asked the question transmitted data. This is the actual data, and we know this data will never be transmitted as it is because it is containing the flag pattern. Yes or no? This is the actual data and this will never be transmitted as it is because this data is containing the flag pattern. So definitely before transmission we have to stuff additional bit and then we have to transmit. So after bit stuffing, what the data will be transmitted, that we need to identify. Are you getting my point or not? So here in this situation what we will do, if this is the actual data, and after 0 followed by 3 number of ones, if we will insert 0 over here, 0 over here, then will flag pattern appear inside the data? No. Means in the transmitted data what we will have? We will have 1 0, 1 2 3 and then 0 1. In a transmitted data we are going to have this. Now look upon this transmitted data. Is there any flag pattern? No. Is there any flag pattern appearing inside the transmitted data? No. So definitely whenever we are fetching 0 followed by 3 number of 1, and if we will stuff 0 over here, so inserting 0 or stuffing 0, or in other terms you can say inserting 0 inside the data. Why? To avoid the flag pattern. So once we will insert 0 over here, the flag pattern will be removed from the data part, and if there is no flag pattern inside the data part, then definitely the receiver will always receive the correct frame. So the final transmitted data will be this. So finally, what is the logic of inserting 0 inside the data field? I am going to write it. What will be the final logic? So please try to understand. See, if inside the flag pattern there is 0 followed by n number of ones, here how many ones are there? 4 number of ones. So inside the data field, just after 3 number of ones, if you will insert 0, the flag pattern will be removed. Means what I am trying to say, in a flag pattern, if there is 0 followed by n number of 1, then stuff 0 after n minus 1 number of ones. So here what is the value of n? The value of n is 4. So stuff 0 after how many ones? After 4 minus 1 ones. Yes or no? 4 minus 1 ones. So in a flag pattern, if there is 0 followed by n number of 1, then stuff 0 after n minus 1 ones. So definitely the flag pattern will never appear inside the data field. So I am writing the same things as a notes. Okay. So just see over here. If flag pattern is 0 followed by n number of ones, then what we have to do? Then insert 0 in where we need to insert 0? In data part. Okay, then insert 0 in data after 0 followed by n minus 1 ones. Yes or no? We never stuff 0 in a flag. Because flag is implemented at the beginning and the ending of the frame to distinguish it. So definitely what we only want to avoid the flag pattern from the data part. So whenever bit stuffing will be happen, it will be done inside the data part, not with the flag part. Are you getting my point, everyone? So this 0 will be insert. That's why I have written then insert 0 in data. In data. After 0 followed by n minus 1 ones. So in a data, if there is 0 followed by 3 number of ones, then stuff 0. Then stuff 0. Is that clear, everyone? Are you getting my point? So I am leaving this session with one question. What you have to do, you have to try that one, and tomorrow again we will meet and we will try to think about that. Okay? So just see over here. Suppose I am giving you a question. Suppose if the flag pattern is given as 0 followed by 4 number of ones. Okay? And actual data, AD means actual data has given as like 1 0 1 1 1 and 0 1. Okay, so you need to find transmitted data. So this is the questions I am leaving for you. You might be thinking, sir, in a actual data no flag pattern is appearing, so the transmitted data will be always 1 0 1 1 1 0 1. Yes or no? You might be thinking, sir, the flag pattern is given as 0 followed by 111, and since no flag pattern is appearing inside the actual data, so the same data will become the transmitted data. Yes or no? You might be thinking like this, but the situation is different. You will be able to understand the situation if you will think about both the node, sender as well as receiver. So never make a decision on the basis of sender only. Are you getting my point or not? So never make a decision on the basis of sender only. Think about the receiving end also, that how the receiver is identifying the frame out of the sequence of bits coming from the physical layer. What I am trying to say, please try to understand over here. Suppose in this situation, what happened in this situation, like what I have told you, the actual data is 0 followed by 4 number of ones. What we have considered, like 1 0 1 0 4 number of ones. So in this situation, the transmitted data will become 1 0 1 1 1 and then 0 1. Of course, this is the stub bit. So my dear friends, is this bit is a part of communicating bit? No. This bit that the sender has a stub, this is not a part of communicating bit, and these things are happening at the sender side. So somewhere the receiver is connected with this sender, yes or no? So once this particular data will be transmitted to the receiver, and since the sender is using the flag pattern 0 followed by 4 number of ones, this information will be known by the receiver also. 0 followed by 4 number of ones means this flag pattern the sender is using, the receiver should have also the information of the same flag pattern. So with the help of this flag pattern, what the receiver will think, whenever this data will receive by the receiver like this, so what the receiver will do, after scanning 0 followed by 3 number of ones, the receiver will simply delete this bit and will receive what? Actual data, that is 1 0 1 2 3 4. Yes or no? Since the receiver is also using the same flag pattern 0 followed by 4 number of ones, so what the receiver will think, whenever 0 followed by 3 number of ones are coming, so next bit is nothing but a flag bit, stub bit, so definitely the receiver will remove this bit and will accept the actual data. Already we know this bit is not a part of communicating bit, not part of communicating data. Are you getting my point or not? Since this is not a part of communicating data, so definitely the receiver has to remove this bit before accepting the actual bit, before accepting the actual bits or actual data. Are you getting my point or not? Yes or no? Everyone, say something. So definitely the receiver will remove this bit first of all and then accept the actual data. Then accept the actual data. Got it? So understanding the sender and receiver point of view, you need to think about this problem. You need to think about this problem. And already I have told you, you might be thinking that sir, since there is no any flag pattern inside the actual data, so no any stub bit, no any bits will be inserted. Means there will be no any stub bit. You might be thinking, but situation is different. You can understand the situation if you will think about sender as well as receiver both. So try to think about it. I am giving you a time. Tomorrow again we will meet at 7 p.m. and I will explain the reason. And I will explain all the things in details. Till that time, you just think yourself. You just think yourself. Okay, everyone? So, again, before leaving this session, again I will tell you, tomorrow at 9 p.m., the Pankaj sir is coming with big announcement. That is the GATE English course in PD, ZD and VOD section. So, must try to join that. Share that particular link, because that particular link I have already shared in my group, okay, and in the global group. So please try to share that particular link everywhere connected to your friends, juniors, everywhere, those who are in your connection. So just share everywhere, make a crowd, make a mahal tomorrow at 9 p.m. okay. So see you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. So I will take 1 hour of lectures, and after that there will be a gap of like 1 hour, and the Pankaj sir will come, and I want full to mahol with energy tomorrow right at 9 p.m. okay. So bye, take care, bye everyone.